streaming platforms are a marketing and promotional avenue. They are not a sales platform. And it's hard for a lot of people. I think I figured this out yesterday when I was on the walk. I think the reason it's hard for a lot of people to distinguish that is because they don't know the difference between time for dollars and valuation for dollars. Most people, they get paid an hourly wage. They know if I go to work for this many hours, I get paid this much per hour. So it's a direct one-for-one transaction with their time or their effort as opposed to the dollars that they receive. A lot of people see that in the streaming rate as well too. They're like, look, per stream, I get paid 0.004 cents. So if I increase the streams, then I should get more money. And maybe I should just ask for a raise on my per stream rate. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the same mentality that they have. If you want to make more money, you need to either work more hours, aka get more streams, or get more money per hour or per stream, right? So I saw that. I was like, that's the correlation. That's why they see it like that. Because they don't actually go on a system where when they provide a certain amount of value to somebody, that person sees the value at a higher rate than the money that they're giving out. That's what a lot of musicians need to get your headspace into, is that kind of thing. How do I provide the most value to my fans to where the money that they are giving me, either through donation or through merchandise or through music, the experience that I'm giving them, what I'm giving them, the value is higher than the dollars that they are giving me.
I'm unstoppable like rolling, cracking out the mows. Never mind the road, I go whichever I'ma go. Nothing stop me though, rain, sleet, summer, snow. I'ma grind.
What's up, y'all? Harkos here with the Music Making Sense podcast, where we discuss music marketing, branding, and how to have success as an independent artist. With me, as always, is the one, the only Dapper Dan, Mohawk Denim Dan, man, KP. As always, how the hell you doing today, KP?
Fucking raw, man. Getting some sun out. Yeah, baby.
Yeah, I know.
And we're gonna have a great
nice.
day.
Yeah, it's nice,
today,
sunny, man. It's starting to hit the beginning of May, so everybody's starting to get a lot of sunrise and stuff. But what we wanted to bring some sunlight to today was a topic that is always a topic for discussion among music marketing in the business aspect of music. Me and KP always hear a lot of people, a lot of artists upset about. And we even discussed this a few episodes back whenever the Living Wage for Musicians Act was passed through Congress, which I don't think it's ever went to Senate and the president yet. I would have heard something by now, but it went through Congress, so it may just be empty. But you know, they're looking to raise the streaming rates from 0.003 cents per stream on average up to, you know, something higher. I mean, obviously in that bill they proposed
it's like a penny, they
1
said.
cent. Yeah, 1 penny, man. And that, like I said, like we talked about whenever we first were talking about that a few episodes back, that's going to destabilize the fucking industry something fierce if they went that high, because that's like an excessive rate of increase, like 10,000% or something crazy if I remember right. But besides all of that, like the overall sentiment when it comes to streaming from a lot of artists is that, oh, well, we don't get paid properly on streaming platforms. Like I saw this one post specifically with Spotify where they said, oh, well, you know, the owner of the company is a billionaire and this is $1 billion company, and then they can only pay me 0.004 cents per stream. That's fucked up. And so I'm like, okay, well, for one, somebody's net worth is not somebody's fucking cash flow. Okay. So just because he's a billionaire, that just means he owns and operates an asset that's worth billions of dollars in technicality, honestly. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a publicly traded company.
It's not the same as an athlete.
No, it's not the same as an athlete, because an athlete actually gets their money. You know what I'm saying? So if they're a multi-millionaire, it's because they make enough money. They are their own asset, and even their brand endorsements and everything like that. Yeah, exactly. And those are steady checks that come in that mean that they're worth that much. And yeah, they get a little bit higher of net worth. But, you know, when it comes to a publicly traded company, especially one that has only been profitable the last couple of years, they've lost money for a decade or more. I think we covered like about 10 episodes ago. But, you know, publicly traded companies like that, they they can hide their losses and their expenditures within the corporate structure of their company with the stocks and everything like that, right? And so just because, you know, their stock valuation is billions of dollars, and since whatever his name is owns, or he's the CEO of the company, he's therefore worth that much money.
Daniel Ek.
Daniel Ek, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he's over in Sweden or something like that. But just because they own and operate, it doesn't mean they actually have that much money. Yeah, they still got a decent amount of power and stuff like that, but they don't actually have that much money. Either way, the company doesn't even have that much money. We broke it down. What is it, like 70% of the fucking money that they get in goes to just to pay royalties? Mm-hmm. And most of that is to like the big three, you know? And so, and not Kendrick, Cole, and J.K. We're talking about we're talking about the actual big three companies, yeah.
And don't forget that there's also the quote unquote black box that where the artists who don't do their registrations and things like that, the money goes into that money.
Yeah,
goes
but
to
I
them
mean
as well.
that's 70% of the revenue they bring in has to go right back out. So they only got 30% to pay all the in-house cost, you know, and so that's why they lose money year over year, you know, except for the last couple of years. And, you know, that's why they instituted the 1,000 stream minimum in order to pay out anything. And they're probably going to raise it again. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't say, you know, unless you're getting 1,000 streams a month, you don't get paid out eventually. You know, maybe give them a year or two before they say that.
Right.
But, you know, I had to tell people, I'm like, you know, KP has said this a bunch on here. I've said this as well, too. Streaming platforms are a marketing and promotional avenue. They are not a sales platform. Okay. They're not a sales platform whatsoever. And it's hard for a lot of people. I think I figured this out yesterday when I was on the walk. I think the reason it's hard for a lot of people to distinguish that is because they don't know the difference between time for dollars and valuation for dollars, right? Because most people, they get paid an hourly wage. They know if I go to work for this many hours, I get paid this much per hour. So it's a direct one-for-one transaction with their time or their effort as opposed to the dollars that they receive. And so a lot of people see that in the streaming rate as well, too. They're like, look, per stream, I get paid 0.004 cents. So if I increase the streams, then I should get more money. And maybe I should just ask for a raise on my per stream rate. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the same mentality that they have when it comes to their jobby, right? Yeah. If you want to make more money, you need to either work more hours, aka get more streams, or get more money per hour or per stream, right? So I saw that. I was like, that's the correlation. That's why they see it like that, because they don't actually go on a system where when they provide a certain amount of value to somebody, that person sees the value at a higher rate than the money that they're giving out. All right, y'all. I just wanted to hop in here really quick and let you know about my company. I know a lot of times we're sitting here talking to you about all the different companies that rock with us here at Music Making Sense Podcast, but I just figured I'd hop in here really quick and let you know about my company and the services that I offer. Now, my company is called Apex Music System, and you can find that over at apexmusicsystem.com. You can find a full list of all the services that I offer over there in my company. If you're a podcaster or you have an online business or you're an artist, I can help you out with anything, all right? I got services such as website building, email marketing, video editing, social media management, ad management, creative content, strategy, consultations, and I can help you out no matter what your budget is. Now that's key right there. I got great prices. Plus I have a wide variety of low, medium, and high tier services. So I can help you out no matter what your need is. So make sure you go check out my company over at apexmusicsystem.com. And, you know, like I tell you every time, make sure you let them know that I told you about my company right here on Music Making Sense Podcast. So I know that this ad's actually working. All right, I'm going to shut up so you can get back to the show, right? So if whenever I create a website for somebody, I create the website, I put in I connect it with email marketing, set up an email marketing template, connect it with a distribution store, from a merchandise store through an affiliate with Horrible Designs, which is one of the sponsors here on the show. It's a great company. 24 hours after you purchase, it's going to get shipped out and sent free shipping included with the purchase and everything like that as well too.
Right.
You know, so I connect all that up with them so where they don't have the overhead of, you know, having an email marketer or something like that. They don't have the overhead of having all this, you know, all their shirts and stuff like that in their house and stuff like that, or trying to have them do it themselves or go through some third-party company like Spring or something like that, right? And then I also connect them up with Sony Orchard, right? For distribution. I do all that, do a consultation on how I'm going to set it up, and then at the end on how to put everything together, how they use it, show them how to use it, turn it over to them, right? It's basically a turnkey music business that I create for people and give to them.
Right.
And I make sure that, hey, here you go. Here's your music business. I've helped you create it. I showed you how to use it. If you need me to operate it, that's another, you know, that's another fee and stuff like that. You pay for my time with that. But here you go. I just did it. Well, that is me creating value for somebody and giving it to them. And then they give me money, but the money that they give me is well worth it to them with the value that I'm giving them. So it's a positive result, right? And so that's what a lot of musicians need to get your headspace into, is that kind of thing. How do I provide the most value to my fans to where the money that they are giving me, either through donation or through merchandise or through music or through, you know, coming to live events or through any kind of experience, right? That the experience that I'm giving them, what I'm giving them, the value is higher than the dollars that they are giving me, right? And that's what you need to get into. And that's what I realize is it's the mindset shift.
Yeah.
And, you know, of not just saying, okay, these streaming platforms are just a marketing promotional element. Let me use those to get my stuff out there.
Right.
But also I need to have this mindset shift and say, I need to provide as much value as possible to my fans. That way the money that they do start giving me is less than the value that I'm giving them in their eyes, you know? And that's what I think. Both of those things are what hinder a lot of independent artists from just making that next step, because they start saying, oh, well, there's no money in music. We're getting ripped off by the big corporations. Oh, the big record
nobody
labels are
buys
screwing
CDs
us
no more. Nobody buys albums no more. Nobody does this. Nobody does that. Yada, yada, yada. It's like, dude, stop. Fully stop. Continue. My friend.
And the reason nobody does it is because you aren't providing them value.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I see people all the time with Drake t-shirts. I don't see nobody with your fucking t-shirt though. You know what I'm saying? The Weeknd, you know, like all these people, right?
Slipknot.
Obviously, yeah, Slipknot, like you see people all the time with musical shirts on. And that's
some of them don't even know a goddamn song don't even know a single song, but they'll wear the shirt, and at the same time that's okay. I used to kind of get a little flustered about that shit. No, all right, I'm sorry, y'all. I ain't gonna sit here and lie and say I get flustered. I got a little. No, motherfucker, I used to get pissed, but now.
It's like, what do you know about Wait and Bleed, motherfucker? You don't know shit, Slipknot, all right?
Bruh.
You don't know people equal shit. You don't know, all right, well, get the fuck out of here.
Bruh.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I get it, man, because my ex did that as well, too.
Yeah.
To her daughter had a boyfriend for a little bit, and he came over, and he was wearing a Slipknot shirt. And she's a metalhead, right? My ex's. And she's like, oh, you know, what's your favorite Slipknot song? I don't know, I don't listen to them. He's like, I don't listen to them. She basically looked like KP looks right now, right? Exactly.
Because it's so much, because it's so much. And here's the thing, guys. I was reading I saw this from Smashing Pumpkins, where they were like, it was online. There was this little survey that this guy was doing online, and it was a young black girl. She was wearing a Smashing Pumpkins shirt. And the guy asked her about the shirt because he said, oh, it was a cool shirt. And he said, do you know any of the songs? And she was like, no. But I could tell she was like one of those sisters who would be into alternative music. So if he just turned her on to a couple Smashing Pumpkins songs, I could tell she would be the one that would be like, oh my God, I really actually like them, right?
Yeah.
Especially if she
probably likes them adjacent.
Yeah, adjacent, yeah. And if she heard them, she would be like, oh, yeah, I could totally get into it. And I could see her from being a black person, I could see her totally getting into a more past Smashing Pumpkins because they do have a bit of a mellow sound to them. It's
very melodic.
Yeah, it's melodic, but it's got a little abrasion to it, but not too much to where it'll run most black people away. But needless to say, right? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But needless to say, I could Smashing Pumpkins went on there because a couple people started like kind of getting into it, and they came online and they said, well, you know what? Everybody doesn't know our songs, and you know something, that is okay. And when I saw them do that, I was like, Billy, I know you fucked up TNA at the same time wrestling. I'm sorry, I love you, but I was like, Billy, look, and all those guys, I'm like, I started thinking about it. I was like, if I saw somebody wearing my shirt, I would be shocked. And if they didn't know, they would just be like, nah, I just really like the shirt. And then they realize it's me. And I'd be like, so you don't listen to my music, man? I would joke, but then I would be like, that would be like the perfect time to give them, hey, man, here, check it out. This is me right here, baby boy or baby girl, whatever, right?
Right.
Boom.
And see, that's one thing that I tell a lot of artists to do as well, too, is when you're starting out, when you're making merchandise, it's okay to sell merchandise. But I always advise people to have between 80 and 90% of your merchandise not be blatant promotion of yourself. Right. Okay. It needs to speak to a certain vibe. It needs to make a certain statement in public, right? Because, like what we just witnessed right there, when you wear a Smashing Pumpkins or Slipknot or a Drake shirt, right? People automatically assume this person is part of the tribe that likes Smashing Pumpkins or that likes Slipknot and stuff like that. And so then if you don't know, now you get checked, you're like, oh, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? And it causes a lot of tension. But if somebody was out in public wearing a Harco's t-shirt, most people would be like, what the fuck is that? Right? What the fuck is a Harco? You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. Right. But if they had a cool shirt that they bought off my website that made a statement when they're walking out, you know what I'm saying, that said like, I'm unstoppable, nothing can stop me, stuff like that, had a kind of a vibe about being unstoppable, is like calling unstoppable wear and shit, which is what I'm working on. But like they had something like that, they're like, yo, that's a dope shirt, man. Yeah, fucking hell yeah. Unstoppable. Where do I get that? Unstoppableclothing.com. Oh, okay, cool, dope. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that.
That's more of a clothing line, but at the same time,
exactly.
That is more of
but
a
it speaks to
line.
Your music, because I have a song called Unstoppable, and it speaks to the vibe of that song. So if people are within my tribe, right, and they know, hey, yo, I got that. Oh man, I love Harco's song Unstoppable. Oh, he's got a shirt out that makes a hell of a statement with a vibe that has the same vibe I connect with in that song. Okay, cool. I'm gonna do that. No, I don't really want the one with his face on it. No, I don't want the one with his album cover on it. I want the one right there that says I'm fucking unstoppable, right? Because that track Unstoppable, I really resonate with that, right? Hypothetically, right?
Right.
So if you feel like that, then you're gonna be gravitated towards that. And then on that shirt, you have a QR code. And that QR code takes them to my music page, right? So when that person from my tribe is wearing that out, people are going to see it. They're going to be like, I like that shirt. Be like, oh, yeah, it's dope. Oh, where can I get it? Oh, there's a QR code right here. You can go buy it right here. Well, when they go and buy it, they also get experience to my music. So it serves as more of a billboard to the vibe of what they would get from my music, as opposed to a blatant face out there,
right?
And so I think that goes across with a lot of these Gen Zers, especially, that may like how a shirt looks. Oh, that's a cool Smashing Pumpkins shirt. Oh, that's a cool Slipknot shirt. Stuff like that. And they're like, hey, I like the visual vibe of that tribe, right?
Vibe, exactly.
Yeah, they like the visual vibes of that gear and like the look and everything, But they may not 100% know that lifestyle yet, and the whole culture in it yet. But it's a gateway. Right. And so if you immediately shit on them, they'll never go that distance. Right. They'll never keep on going. Yeah. And so I think that is a mixed bag, because you got to have, when you put out your merch, you got to have it speak to a certain vibe. And that's what you see a lot of times whenever people are wearing a Smashing Pumpkins or a Slipknot or whoever shirt and don't know the music.
And I think
it's positive. Like what Billy was saying. Hey, look, he's out there. Whether they like my music or not,
right?
They like my art.
That's and I think it would be a great teachable moment.
That
like
too.
it would be, I think, like when you have, I think if you see that, like, oh, well, check out, I think instead of going like, oh, well, name 3 songs, instead of doing that, say, yo, you know what? If you haven't checked them out, check out this song, check out the, like, tell them which songs to check out.
Yeah,
right?
like, oh, you have, you never heard a song? You gotta go listen to Tonight. It's a dope track.
You gotta listen. You gotta check out this. Right.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
That,
be like, yo, go check it out. It's dope. You'll like it.
Or play it, or since we already got accesses to phones, say, yo, this is them right here. Right? And then they'll be like, oh shit, okay, cool. Right? So, and that's a great way for you, and especially now, like, we have the opportunities to introduce people to our music. We have the access. We have the products, right? Just right here. Right there, man. Just be like, yo, check out, here's the song right here, man. You be having a conversation with a person on the bus.
Yeah. And it's very simple. Be like, oh, you never heard Tonight? Oh, okay. Yeah. Smashing Pumpkins, Tonight. Right? Oh, let me hit play real quick. Boom. Now it's playing on my YouTube real quick, right? Like, I'm not going to play the songs. I don't want to get fucked up.
Right.
But like, boom, you can show them the music video for Tonight and let them listen to the song and be like, this is why that shirt is dope. You see what I'm saying? And they'll be like, oh, fuck. They'll be like, okay, I need to take the shirt off and burn it if they don't like the music. Or they'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, that's just dope. I'm going to keep listening to them. Yeah. Right? It's a connecting point. And and that's a similar way to, that's a marketing avenue as well too, but it's also a sales avenue.
Great,
absolutely. And great, to kind of wrap back to it, definitely is a form of engagement. And all right, y'all, let me take a quick break right here to tell you about something that's completely fucking ridiculous, okay? It's called HorribleDesigns.com. And I personally know the owner, and he's just as ridiculous as this whole fucking company is, okay? If you or someone you know loves stickers and mugs and shirts with crazy, outlandish sayings on them that just are designed to catch people's attention out in public and get them to laugh and point and ask you, hey, where'd you get that t-shirt, or where'd you get that sticker, when they see it on your car and stuff like that, y'all got to go check out HorribleDesigns.com. At HorribleDesigns.com, they have all kinds of ridiculous sayings on stickers and coffee mugs, t-shirts, vinyl stickers, magnets, and even mouse pads, okay? And I'm telling you, if you guys have not checked out HorribleDesigns.com, you got to go check it out, because some things are straight up great, like the American Muscle mouse pad. It's got some awesome pictures of great muscle cars if you're into cars, or you know somebody who's into muscle cars and they need some great mouse pad to have while they're on the computer working. But then they also have dumbass fucking t-shirts that say things like, are you staring at my ass, with a picture of a donkey on it, or stickers that say, are you staring at my beaver, with a picture of a beaver on it. Stuff like that, man. Completely ridiculous shirts and stickers, coffee mugs, everything like that. Anything that you could ever think about having just to get people's attention, make a statement out in public, and just completely be ridiculous, and to do it with some horrible designs at the exact same time. And like I said, I know the owner, so he hooked us up with a great deal where you can save right now by using the link below in the description. Whenever you go there and shop, you will not only support Music Making Sense podcast, but you also get a great deal on any and everything that you decide to purchase every time that you use that link right there in the description below. So make sure you go check that out right now, HorribleDesigns.com. Use the link below in order to get good savings. Go check it out. Buy some ridiculous shit for yourself or someone you know. All right, now let's get back to the show. And I was thinking about it whenever it comes to Spotify as well too. With it being promotional, I'm like, Spotify and all these other streaming platforms, they're just like radio, except way better.
Thank you.
Way better than radio, right? Exactly. And and I'm still trying to build on how to actually speak to it the best. But basically, what I came up with was, all right, when you got radio, they're playing music and stuff like that. Well, if you get your song on radio, like T-Pain, Windy Day, like in that episode that we broke down with Windy Day, she was talking to Nick D about getting on radio. She said it's going to take you at least $200,000 to get on radio, right? To start charting on the top 40, right?
Top 40, yeah.
T-Pain has said that on Drink Champs. A lot of people have said stuff like that. Yo, it costs hundreds of thousands of dollars to run a terrestrial marketing campaign on radio and get your shit played to get it to start getting a buzz, on terrestrial radio. However, if you spent $200,000 trying to bring awareness to your fucking Spotify, bro, you could garner way more growth in fan base than you ever could on terrestrial radio. And because the thing with terrestrial radio is they don't know their listeners that well. They know in general their listeners, right? And most towns, most cities, they have at least 2 of everything, right? 2 rock stations, 2 rap stations, 2 pop stations, right? Stuff like that, right? And so, but they play the same 15 songs all day and repeat, right? Well, if somebody is listening to radio and they're like, man, I hate this fucking song, and they switch the station, that station that got switched from doesn't know that they switched. They don't know why they switched, and they don't know how to improve themselves so that less people switch
and they
away.
Will always, and understand this, like FM radio will always play to the standard of the FCC.
Well, that too.
All right.
Yeah,
and
that
they will not. And if you're in whatever region you're in, wherever region of the United States you're in, you're only going to get certain songs. Like here, shout out to KISW 99.9. I love you. But I know every year since I've been here what songs they play mostly.
Mm-hmm.
It's a format. It's a format. It's a format.
Yeah. And see, the thing is, though, is that radio can't improve based off of listeners' listening habits.
Nope.
It can't. However, let's just use Spotify. Spotify is the biggest streaming platform, so I'm going to keep referring to Spotify. But when I say Spotify, I'm talking about streaming platforms. Okay, everybody.
Pretty much.
So Spotify, you can thumbs down a song if you don't like it.
Yeah.
You can pick what specific song you want. You can make your own playlist if you want to, or even still, if you just go through the shuffle, when you listen to one song, it will keep giving you other songs like that song by that person, but also by other people where it has a similar vibe to that song, right? And it'll keep doing it. And if you skip that song, they're going to be like, okay, they either didn't want to listen to it right now, or they don't like that song at all.
Right.
They're going to know by how you act. And they'll know if you stop listening because you didn't like the song. They'll know if you stopped listening because you had something else you needed to do, because you'll turn off the app and complete, right? They know if you're just passively listening, if you don't interact with any of the music at all. They know you're good. They know that if you listen for 6 songs and you never skip anything or anything like that, and then all of a sudden you skip one after 30 seconds that you weren't feeling that one, okay, let's make some more, let's give them some more like these 6 songs, shit like that.
Yep.
It's a much better tool for marketing. So like I just said, if it takes, at least a couple $100,000 to start charting on radio in order to gain an audience that's on radio, which is a dwindling audience, but besides that, right, even if it was an equal audience to streaming, okay, you're going to be spending all this money to try to reach all these people, and you won't know if it's going to the right place. The people you're putting the money into won't know if it's going to the right people or not. However, if you put that money into different awareness campaigns on social media and then end up pushing it towards your streaming platforms, it's going to actually know those people are the correct people for your audience, because it tabulates everything. Social media knows the more you put out content and the more you aim your content at certain people, the more that social media is going to know who your ideal audience is and start giving it to more people, especially if you give them money, right? Same thing with streaming platforms, right? The streaming platforms, they're going to know where to put your music based on your habits. And so when you go to put your money into your marketing, you need to make sure you put it in the right place. And I'm sitting here saying, hey, use streaming platforms to their best benefit. Their best benefit is not playlisting in the traditional sense. Their biggest benefit is, instead of getting on a playlist that has 1 million listeners, your focus needs to be able to get on 1 million listeners' individual playlists. Because you getting your one, you paying a few $100s to get on that, let's say, for instance, I pay a few $100 to get on Lyrical Lemonade, right? With one of my tracks, right? I put Unstoppable up there. Lyrical Lemonade, let's say hypothetically it has 1 million listeners, right? That are subscribed to that playlist. Now, active listener base is probably going to be in the hundreds of thousands, not in the million, right? So I'm sitting there, and let's say I get 100,000 streams off of it, right? 100,000 listeners, sorry. 100,000 listeners, and then like a couple 100,000 listens, right? So I put this money to get put in front of 1 million people, but only 100,000 people listened. And then out of those 100,000 people, you know, some of them listened only once, some of them listened a couple more times. Once I stop putting money into that playlist, if I'm not on that playlist next month and I go to release another song next month, I'm only going to get maybe a few hundred or a few thousand people that are going to get notified about my new song, and they're going to be able to have the opportunity to listen to my new song.
Right.
Because that big playlist is money driven. And so it's you're reaching a very basic, bland audience, a big audience. But if you get the right people to start, if you tell them, you say, hey, you like my new song? They're like, yes. I'm like, put me on your individual playlist, whether you listen to it or not. Put me on your playlist, right? And you keep having more and more people do that, then the algorithm, aka the recommendation engine within Spotify and everything like that, is going to know. Yeah, I love calling it the recommendation engine, because that's what it is. It's not just an algorithm; it's a recommendation engine.
Yeah, totally.
But the more people who put your song into a playlist around with other songs kind of like it, the recommendation engine is going to know, hey, anybody who likes these songs or anybody who are like these listeners are going to like this song as well too. And they have a catalog, right? They group everybody. They know the listening habits of me, right? And so they know that I'm more prone to listen to these specific artists.
Yep.
Well, if they throw in an artist that's an up-and-coming artist or a different artist I've never heard before, and I don't skip it, they know they did the right thing. They know who I am as a listener. That's the one thing about these streaming platforms. So if you learn how to use these streaming platforms properly, you're going to get in front of more people. Now, that's not going to necessarily increase your streams and start making you millions of dollars off your streams, but that's going to start getting people who actually like your music and like the vibe you bring. And then that's going to translate to them going to your website. If you don't have one, you're fucked up. But that's going to translate to them going to your website and then becoming super fans. See what I'm saying? So I think we've talked about this before, but you're basically, no, wait, this is in the course I'm putting together. Never mind. So basically what you're doing is you're taking
secret sauce in there, bro.
Secret sauce, right? And the course is going to be out here soon, probably in a week or two after this is edited. And it's going to be a free course on this stuff. I'll tell you all about it later. But anyway, but the overall job that you're trying to do is take casual observers that happen to run into you and turn them into followers, and then turn those followers into fans, and then those fans into super fans, right? And you're going to use social media and you're going to use streaming platforms in a similar way, because you're not going to be spending any money on these dumbass playlisting campaigns so you can get 30,000 streams on your new single in the first 3 weeks. Because next month when you drop a track and you don't put it back on another playlist, you're not going to get those streams again, because those were fraudulent streams overall. They may have all been real people, but they were fraudulent streams. You were in front of the wrong fucking people. That's why you had a 1.3 streams per listener rate. You know what I'm saying? And that's why you're not getting a 6 or an 8 streams per listener rate. It's a lot better to have people listen multiple times. And so when you go and spend your money, make sure you know that these streaming platforms are marketing and advertising lanes. They're not sales lanes. You're not going to get a one-for-one transaction. So knowing that, you will in turn know, fuck this playlisting shit. I'm going to have my fans, my real fans, I'm going to entertain and engage them and get them to start listening to my stuff on their streaming platform and get them to start adding my shit to their playlist. And then the more playlist ads that you get from individual users and the more consistent you are with your releases, the more the recommendation engine is going to start putting your music in front of other people just like those people, and your fan base is going to grow. That's how you use streaming platforms. Yep. That's how you actually use them as a marketing and a promotional platform. They are not a sales platform at all. At all. And KP has said this until he was dark black in the face. Okay, I would say blue in the face, but Yeah, purple.
Purple. Straight fucking purple.
Until he was resembling Barney in the face, all right?
Hell yeah.
And but I mean, and I just kind of like broke down a mini course right there, but that's literally what we've talked about for pretty much since the beginning of starting the show. I mean, honestly, almost a year ago now. It's actually been almost a year. We're working on it. When did we start? Like July, August? It was somewhere around there.
Yeah, it was around
so,
July.
And it's first of May right now, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're working close on it. But you know, it just aggravates me. Huh?
Tapping in, my friend, to a year. Damn.
Exactly. It just aggravates me, man, whenever I see people say that kind of shit. You know, like, oh, well, you know, we need to get paid more as artists. Like, go and deserve it.
Yeah.
All right. I just wanted to come in here and let every single one of y'all who love raw, real underground hip hop know about a dope show I found over on YouTube. And they're exclusively on YouTube as well, too. All right. It's called Hip Hop Radar Underground. Make sure you go check them out. They got live Friday shows every single Friday, showcasing artists from all across the world, underground, raw, real hip hop. And if you're an artist, you can actually go and submit your music there too and get it popping on that show. It's a great place to go and network with everybody as well too. Everybody that watches that show and tunes in live are raw, real hip hop fans. All right. So it's a great place to find some real lovers of your music. And like I said, if you love listening to dope new music, make sure you go check them out. They also offer artist spotlight interviews as well too. So if you're an artist, you want a spotlight, go ahead and hit them up over there. Me and KP were just previously on there and we had a dope interview, sat down with the host himself, Sack Juggalo, and had a great conversation. It was a great opportunity. So I just wanted to cut this message right here for every single one of y'all who love raw, real hip hop, or you're an artist, make sure you go check out Hip Hop Radar Underground over on YouTube. You can also follow them over on IG. Make sure you go check them out. All right, let's get back to the show. Go and deserve it. Just because you're participating doesn't mean you get a goddamn fucking raise.
You know the crazy part about that, bro, what you're saying, I'm with you, is that it was like soon as you made a very valid point earlier to when Spotify came out. It was like people, soon as they saw it, when artists, especially musicians, soon as they saw that, and when they heard, I believe Russ? When they
Russ
heard
was one of the first ones. Tekashi 6ix9ine was one of the first ones.
Tekashi 6ix9ine, and then when they heard how Russ was able to just make as much money he did when he first came out, and he had that billion streams, right? I think artists, when they saw that, they were like, oh, shit, guess what?
So I can make money there too.
Now I can make money there. And most of them just end up saying, no, you know what? Hell, I can just make my money just sitting there on Spotify, putting some songs out, and I ain't got to be going out here doing this, that, and right. They didn't feel like they had to go out there and do the groundwork. They didn't have to go out there and go bust their ass playing shows and things like that. So they were like, okay, this is a new means to income as a musician.
Yeah, but it's so short-sighted because you can do that.
Right.
You know, you can.
But what Nick
D does it. Nick D makes all of his money, or a good chunk of his money, off of streams. He doesn't really go out and do shows. He's done like a couple of shows here recently, but that's it. Like, he doesn't go and do tours and stuff like that, right? Mm-hmm. But he gets money multiple different ways from his fans. And so, yeah, you can do it, but you got to think multi-dimensional with this shit. You can't just think, oh, let me just keep putting out songs, get people to stream it, get on these playlists, and I'll be good.
That's how they did it. It was like they just became like, it was almost like they started having the cog in the machine with it. Like, okay, I can just feed the internet, I can just feed Spotify or feed these people these songs, right? Mm-hmm. Managers, like when the people who were beginning as managers, like that didn't really get in the trenches of it, like learning about, like with shows, going to shows and actually learning the behind the scenes work and stuff like that. They were trying to just manage everybody on Spotify. They were trying to manage their Spotify. Mm-hmm. And I noticed that. And I was like, okay,
it became the
what
currency.
This is going to become. Yes, it became the currency. It became the cog in the machine for artists and music bands and musicians who thought that this is just going to be a cakewalk. And then they felt like, and then when they started seeing it, it was like, because they were putting out the music, they were like, well, I should be getting paid more.
Yeah, they feel
but
entitled.
It was like, right. Yeah. But then it was like, okay, do y'all understand the increase of the first, when I remember when Wendy Day first said on the cheat code, how many songs they put out. That was like, I want to say that was around the time when we actually started the course with Brandman, right? That was like what, a couple of years ago, like few. Yeah,
it was a little over about a year. Yeah, about a year ago now.
But, okay, and I heard her say that, right? She talked about that, and then now that was actually, it was 2020 when I heard her say that.
Oh, that was a few
now
years
look
ago,
at now look. And
now it's over 100,000.
120. It was 60,000 at that time, and then it just boosted. Now it's 100, and it boosted from the year. It boosted up within a year at 70,000, then 80,000, then 90,000, then it just ended
120,000.
120,000.
When we're saying is 120,000 songs per day are uploaded to Spotify and all the streaming platforms.
Yeah,
and while that's great because it's allowing artists the opportunity to have a worldwide stage, the thing is that it creates a hell of a thing of entitlement, like what KP was just saying, like what I've been saying as well too. But also it creates a fuck ton of grift, you know?
Right. And so, also a lot of them don't, and also to add on, people didn't understand it being mechanical and streaming royalties, right? They didn't understand that concept. So a lot of those same artists never registered their music as well. You know how
they
many
only get
artists
the streaming only, yeah.
We need to I'm gonna write it down, but we need to do figure out the percentage of artists who have not. I'm quite sure that would be a really tough one to figure out, right? But at the same time, to see how many artists actually register their music on average or roughly, right? Because I think that's another.
It's growing, but I think it's definitely a blank spot with a lot of people because you know that the education is out there, but there's so much education and so much miseducation out there that it clouds a lot of shit for a lot of people. And there's a lot of, it's going to sound fucked up, but there's a lot of people in our society that are just blatant followers, right? And so they don't know how to go out and search through information and find what's real and what's not. They just go to sources that they feel like they trust or something like that, or they have established a little bit of trust with them. They listen wholeheartedly to that. And so they take bits and pieces of information and just run with it without actually knowing what the fuck they're doing. So like, oh, well, I just put my stuff up through DistroKid and I should be making money. It's like, no, there's way more than that. You know, and then like what I say about the grift too is that there's all these, like, playlisting became a huge monetization thing. Like, you know, you can build a playlist and start getting bots and or regular people, mostly bots, but a lot of regular people as well too, to start listening to these playlists, right? And then now you can charge a premium per song to be on there and stuff. And then now you're sitting here making, you know, 5 digits or something like that a month, just having a playlist and everything like that. And then now you turn that around, and I get it, but then it becomes so fucked up now that we got all the bots and everything like that. Now when these people get 30,000 streams for $70, you know, because that's what it is. You pay $70 or $80 to get on some of these playlists, you'll get 30 to 50,000 streams. It all looks cool, but 30 to 50,000 streams at 0.004 cents per stream ain't shit. You're not getting your money back out of that, right? Okay, cool, right? It's a marketing expenditure, right? You're not supposed to get money directly back out of it. Okay, I get that. I 100% get that because that's marketing. Right. But at the same time, you're not even getting fan growth out of it. You know, out of those 30 to 50,000 streams, you're getting fucking 1.2 to maybe 2.0 streams per listener rate. Right. Yeah. And so then that means that people are listening once, maybe twice out of all those people. So, you know, you get 50,000 streams, average of people get, 2. So that means you're only getting about 25,000 people that are actually listening. You do my 10% rule. That means you're only going to have approximately between 200 and 2,000 people who are even going to click the follow. Probably closer to 200 people are going to hit the follow. Right. And then they may or may not have been followed to 1,000 other fucking people. So they may or may not get your next release. And if you're not consistent, blow it out the fucking water, right? If you're one of those tax time fucking rappers, right, who only come around and put out music and music videos during tax time, then you know by the fall, by the fall, you're not gonna have any fucking listener base. You're gonna be like, yo, man, nobody supports local artists, man. What the fuck? That tax time shit's real, bro. I know people.
That's so funny. No, I just find it funny. This was the way you said it. It's just funny as hell.
It's true though, man. I know artists that are out here that they hustle in the spring hard as a motherfucker, but by the time the fall comes, man, that you don't see them even on social media at all. You know, because they're sitting here working some fucking 70-hour-a-week job. Because, you know, they were trying to, you know, I get the effort. They were trying to get their music to pop when they had the money, right? They were trying to invest in their shit while they had the money. Okay, cool. But then they don't always invest right with it. They spend $1,000 on a music video because they're like, yo, I got to look at industry quality. No. Spend $1,000 on 10 different videos, motherfucker. Now you got 10 videos. You got a video per month for almost a year. Like, what the fuck? You know, like, there's a lot of different things that you can do to use money wisely. But the problem is a lot of people who get big tax checks are usually the people who don't spend their money wisely, right? You know, and that correlation is right in there. That's, you know, that's what keeps the poor is financial illiteracy, right? And I get it. When you get a fuck ton of money and you're going check to check, right? And then all of a sudden you get a few G's, fuck, all right, well, I got this list of shit that I've been dreaming of for the last 8 months. I get it. Yeah. I've done it, right? I'm not going to say I never fucking done it. I'm not going to say I didn't get a couple grand on a tax check and I'm like, yo, all right, I got the stimulus check. Boom, it's gone within a day. I never said I didn't do that. I've done it. Fuck. Yeah. I don't know how many every stimulus check I've gotten never lasted more than 2 weeks, right? And I get it. But you got to maintain the consistency in the value that you're bringing your fans. So even if it just means you're going on social media a few times a week and bringing them value in some way, shape, or form, you got to at least do that, right? If you don't have money to spend it, give them your time. You got to keep nurturing that shit. You can't go away for 5 months and come back and expect people to still fuck with you. You just can't, right? And one thing I was thinking about the other day is there's only really 3 ways you can monetize off of your music. And that's direct music sales, merchandise sales, and experience sales. Yep. And the experience is really where it's at, because the experience could be live stream, it could be in-person, you know, shows, it could be, you know, email communication with them, some kind of insider program where they get exclusive behind the scenes access to your music before anybody gets out. They feel like they're participating in your music, whatever kind of experience you can give them. Mm-hmm. That's another way you can monetize off your music, you know? And then, yeah, of course there's brand deals and stuff like that as well too. But that's kind of part of the experience, honestly, because that's part of building your brand. You're bringing different things to your audience and stuff. But that's really the only 3 ways you can really monetize off your music. But a lot of people don't think about it. And if they do think about it, they get lost on how to do it, right? And I get it. But that's why I keep telling everybody, if you get value out of this show right here, Music Making Sense Podcast, you need to share it with at least one other artist that you think should hear it, right? And be like, look, these people make some fucking sense. You need to go check them out. Yo, they're getting some great information out here. You need to go check them out. You know, because we give a lot of good information out here and, you know, spilling all the sauce all over the table, right? That's what we're doing out here. Yep.
And we listen to the great. We listen and learn. We listen to from great mentors and marketers as well. And we got, you know, and we're certified. We were trained. We were taught by some great marketers in the game, Sean and Corey. So, you know, we really, guys, like, we're not just blowing smoke up your ass, man. When we're saying that we understand, we know what's going on. Believe us, we have put the time, money, and effort into what we do. All right, and I've been studying this shit.
Yeah, I've been studying this shit since 2017 when I really started, you know, getting my feet into the whole marketing game, right? Yeah. And since 2017, I've been learning more and more exponentially over the years, right? Every year, I'm listening to podcasts, I'm listening to YouTube videos and stuff like that. And I'm not just listening and regurgitating. I'm listening, I'm marinating, I'm meditating on it. I'm putting it into experiment and practice with my own shit, or maybe even some close people that I knew and stuff like that when I was trying to get them on game and stuff. And, you know, I've taken multiple different courses from Brandman that we talked about. I took a course from Brandman, taking a course from fucking Adam Ivy.
Partners.
Yeah, that's where we found each other and became podcast partners, was in Brandman Network. And then I've taken courses from fucking Adam Ivy. I've taken courses from I've taken courses from Jason Stapleton, who's a small business marketer and stuff like that as well too. But on top of that, I'm also currently in a mentorship program with Adam Ivy and also with Jason Stapleton. And I'm getting ready to hop in another course with him as well, too. Like, I'm constantly learning all the time, constantly putting into practice and constantly coming out here, not just on the podcast, but also with the individual one-on-one sessions that I have with clients where I actually talk with them and help them and fucking give them game. You know what I'm saying? When I do my weekly walks and I give y'all some midweek fucking shit on the streaming platforms, wherever you're hearing this right now, because this is the official podcast. And then I have, you know, another thing that I do where I'm walking, talking about some shit, put that out. When I'm doing all this stuff, it's not just because I listened to a fucking Gary Vee episode and I started regurgitating everything, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
It's because I've been absorbing and learning and studying this shit for years. Like, all right, y'all. I just want to hop in here again real quick. Yes, I know again, but you know what? We rock with a lot of people here, and a lot of people rock with us here at Music Making Sense Podcast. So I got to tell you about all these great people, all right? And this one right here, right now, is Mad K Studios, all right? Go check them out, madkstudios.com. Mad K is a dope artist, man. This guy can draw or paint almost anything, okay? He really, really specializes in, like, portrait arts for memorialization of your favorite car or a family member or a loved one or something like that. All right. Full commission artwork, no copy and paste shit or nothing like that. All right. Custom designs. If you want it, make sure you go hit up madkstudios.com for your custom art piece. And you can even go check out some of the pieces that he's done for freelance and stuff like that. And you can also get it on a shirt. He's got coffee mugs and mouse pads and all kinds of other decorative pieces of artwork that you can go and check out as well too. So if you're a connoisseur of art, you're looking for a nice piece of knickknack or something like that around the house, or if you want a custom artwork designed for a loved one or something that's cherished in your life that you want memorialized in an actual painting, a real painting, make sure you go check out madkstudios.com. Let them know Harkos over at Music Making Sense Podcast sent you. All right, let's get back to the show. I've studied this shit more than the average fucking college graduate when they get out. I've got more hours of knowledge and study than what they do in their fucking major. You know what I'm saying? Like, me too. Me and KP, like, we've already got bachelors. We're working on our fucking masters and doctorates. And
pretty much.
You know what I'm saying?
Pretty much.
Like, I put way more. I haven't put as much money as a college graduate. I'll give you that, because I ain't spending $40,000 a year just to go to goddamn college. Fuck that.
No.
If I were to spend $40,000,
you don't need to.
You don't need to. Like, I spend a few $1,000s a year on fucking education in order to up my shit to where I can start fucking growing and helping more and more artists in better ways and start fucking helping myself out with my family as well at the same time. And I ain't fucking people over either. And that's the beauty of it. It's like, I'm coming out here, I'm helping people, I'm giving them more value than they're giving me money. And so they're like, fuck yeah, let's go. Like, if you guys go to apexmusicsystems.com, right? That's my private, my personal website for my marketing stuff. You'll see on the homepage people who have been shouting me out unsolicited on my fucking services, right? People that I've worked with that you go on there, and I got a few more I got to add on there as well too. So by the time you hear this, you'll see a few more. But every time I get somebody I've worked with, they give me a shout out and they tag me on social media, I take a screenshot of that shit, edit it, and put it up on the fucking on my website just to show, look, these are people, real motherfucking people that are genuinely happy with the value that I've given them, and they're singing my praises without me asking them to, without me paying them, anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's whenever I know I'm doing good, because I didn't rip these people off. They're not out here saying fuck Harkos, right? You know, only some haters are saying fuck Harkos. And yo, and I made a meme. I gotta show you this after the episode, KP. But this one dude is a hating ass motherfucker, and so I made his ass into a fucking meme. So I took his, it was really crazy because, anyway, so I got a lot of people that sing my praises and stuff like that because I'm out here helping them, you know, and that makes me feel really, really good. And it makes me feel, it's hilarious whenever I see haters, because I know that I got growing number of people who see my value and are like, yo, this motherfucker is the truth, right? You know, I got multiple labels that I'm working with now that know I'm the truth. I got multiple artists. I got a fucking blog writer who she's like in love with the knowledge I'm giving her and shit like that. She's like, oh my God, you've helped me so much. Because just from me having a couple consultations with her and shooting messages back and forth here and there and stuff like that, she has grown her business. Like, she was just starting out, hey, I want to be a blog writer for Christian hip hop artists. I've written a couple. I've gotten one into Rapzilla, right? And Rapzilla is a decent size online magazine for Christian hip hop.
Rapzilla.
And I was like, okay. I was like, so when do you start becoming like a syndicated author, you know, publisher with them? And she's like, whenever they pick up 2 posts, and I've already got 1. I was like, okay, well then you need to just do a bunch of free ones for a bunch of people and submit them to Rapzilla. That way you can increase your chances of getting that second one. And she's up to 5 now, and it's only been like 2 months that Rapzilla has picked up. She's authenticated author, and then she even just got signed on another blog, right? And so she's still doing this, not making any money, right? She's in the building phase, but now she's on like a parenting blog, like about like mom blog or something like that. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a mom style blog, right? And she's a Christian hip hop, you know, writer as well too in Rapzilla, published in Rapzilla. So I'm like, hey, look, you got 5 up in Rapzilla now. You got this over here. What you need to start doing is charging $10 per blog post and telling people, hey, look, you're almost guaranteed to get in Rapzilla with this. It's going to be great. $10. Now, once you get a couple of those, start charging 40. Once you get a couple of those, start charging 80, right? It'll be well worth it because you're not screwing anybody over and you're giving them a platform on something that they would be great with, right? Just like if you're a blog artist or blog writer and you start writing some like non-Christian hip hop stuff and you happen to get a couple of articles picked up in XXL, you can start growing your presence like that. I'm like, look, you just need to grow your presence like this. And she's growing it. Like I said, she's on 2 different fucking blogs now. She's got, you know, she's working on having a fucking, you know, double digits of articles in Rapzilla only in the last couple months that she's just been, you know, she's had 2 consultations with me. That's it. You know, because I'm like, look, put you on this path. Let's go right here. Got her website organized and stuff like that. She's redoing a website or whatever, but I got it to where, you know, she's getting it on point with that to where all of her articles will be hosted on her blog as well too, so she can better brand herself, like 100%. So whenever I am on social media and I get some guy that just accepted one of my friend requests, or I just accepted one of his friend requests, I don't know him, right? And he tags me in a comment on somebody else's post, right? And the original post was an artist who is a hip hop artist in Kazakhstan, right? I don't even know this guy, right? And the comment was, yo, hit up Harkos. He knows what to do. He can help you out. Because the original post was like this guy was looking for like a label to sign him or whatever.
Right.
And then like, so I didn't know the original artist. I didn't know the guy who commented and said, check out Harkos. I'm like, okay, well, that's weird. I've never even talked to this guy. And he's giving me a credential. Okay, cool. That's dope. And so like, I messaged to that guy, and the original artist ended up messaging me, and I was like, hey, look, I don't really know anybody that deals in Eastern Europe. I'm sorry, right? I'd love to help you. Go check out my podcast. You can learn a lot of shit. But other than that, I really can't help you, unfortunately, because you're over in Eastern Europe. But yeah, so then I had that original comment. Somebody was like, yo, check out Harkos or whatever, right? Then somebody replied to that comment, and he says, Harkos is shit. Or no, he said he ain't shit, right? And I saw that, and I laugh emoji reacted to that, right? And then I took a screenshot of that, and then I put that into a reel and grabbed Mano's song Hi Hater and put that as the music on the reel and fucking posted that up in my story and on my fucking timeline. And I said, shout out to all the haters. I said, shout out to all the haters. Much love. Everybody go like and follow this guy and show him some support. Right? That's what I said. So I turned him into a fucking meme just to show people. It's like, look, fuck what people are saying. You know, and you know what's really funny? The reason that guy is hating on me from a distance like that is because he was on my friends list, right? He was a part of my following, right? Okay. And I know he had a podcast, right? And so I was trying to get on the podcast to start branding, Music Making Sense podcast, get me and KP on there and stuff like that, right? I reached out to him. He's like, oh, let me check with my podcast partner. We got hopped on like a 3-way conversation, and he was like, so what is it that you do? And I told him what we do, and he goes, oh, that'd be a conflict of interest because that's what we do as well too. And I'm like, okay, but you're stationed in the UK, like there's millions of people out here, bro, like we're not gonna steal from each other. And of course they got a poverty scarcity mindset, so they're like, no, we don't want to have you on the show. Okay, cool, whatever, all good, no worries. I wasn't pissed. I kept him on my fucking friends list and everything like that, right? I kept him. I didn't block him. I didn't fucking nothing like that. Well, a few months go by, about like 5 or 6 months or whatever, and every once in a while I see this dude pop up with fucking some boohoo crybaby bullshit on his fucking timeline, right? About nobody supporting him and shit like that. Why does nobody support local artists? Blah blah blah. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, this motherfucker has a podcast where he supposedly helps promote art musicians, like hip hop artists, but then on his own feed, he's crying about nobody supporting. It's like, you should know how to do it, apparently, if it's going to be a conflict of interest if I get on your show, right?
Yeah.
And so I got tired of it one day. I was in a mood, right? And so I fucking commented, and I was like, look, man, fuck anybody who doesn't support. Go out and find the people who do like your shit. It's like, you're getting in front of the wrong audience, right? Well, then, of course, he fucking wanted to get some attitude with me. And so and so, like, I went back a little bit at him and in a positive way. And I'm like, I'm still trying to give him constructive, stuff. I'm like, hey, look, man, putting out messages like this is not going to help your brand. I was like, you need to put out something that speaks better, that people are actually going to want to engage with. Comment, posts like this, people are going to be turned away from you. Right. And then, of course, he fucking went and did a deep dive on me, and he was like, oh, well, who are you to fucking talk, man? Your podcast is garbage and nobody checks your shit out and blah, blah, blah. I started going crazy, right? Like that. Started hating like extra hard. And so I commented, I was like, well, you just showed that your bitch made like a motherfucker, man. And so then, of course, he hops in my DM. He's like, what's your phone number, man? Let's talk. And I was like, nah, I'm good, man. And so I just fucking just unfriended and hit block, right? But then he's still out here like 3 months later. Right. And then 3 months later, he comments on somebody else's post that tagged me and said, Harkos ain't shit. No, you ain't shit, motherfucker. You ain't shit. You're still thinking about me from months ago? Like, are you fucking kidding me? Because I called you out on your bullshit? Because you're being a whiny little baby bitch? And I'm saying, yo, you're not going to be able to build a brand like that. And you want to try to like fucking turn tables. Oh, your podcast sucks. I guarantee you didn't listen to it, motherfucker. For one, he probably just looked and be like, oh, you only got, 100 subscribers. Motherfucker, you only got 300 fucking followers on your goddamn Facebook. We got over fucking 1,000. Fuck you. What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So anyway, but people like that, man, I saw that. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to put up Hi Hater with fucking Mano. Fuck it. Right? Just make it a laugh. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a good one. Because I know how many people really rock with my shit. Almost everybody I come across, whenever they sit down, they listen to the podcast, they sit down and talk with me, whatever, they know I'm the shit. And I know what I'm talking about, right? And then whenever they listen to the podcast, like you guys have for the last 50-something minutes, me and KP know what the fuck we're talking about. So every single one of y'all that are listening, just do us a huge favor and help somebody out today, right? Go and help out some of these artists out here that you see on social media, because I know every single one of y'all see at least one artist on social media who's doing some shit that's kind of ass backwards that you've heard me and KP talk about and been like, yo, yeah, stop doing that. Stop follow for follow. Stop doing this. Oh, this shit's bullshit. You see some people that could really use just some insight. Tell them, be like, yo, tell them in a private message. You ain't got to blast it out on fucking on the wall and stuff like that, right? Tell them private message, be like, yo, hey, man, I see you out here grinding and everything like that. I think you got some real potential. I listen to this podcast. These two guys, they know a lot of shit about music marketing. You should really go check them out. It's 100% free. You can listen at your own convenience on whatever platform. It's on any platform, right? Go check them out. musicmakingsense.podcast.com, right? Or musicmakingsense.pod.com, Music Making Sense Podcast, right? Go check them out. Help somebody out today, right? Because if they just stay listening to us, they're going to get helped. Like if they listen to what we're saying, they marinate on it and they make their own decisions based on it, it's going to help them in a positive way. And that's what me and KP come here to do all the time. Every single episode is we're over here just trying to help people. That's all we want to do, because it makes us feel great inside. Like, yeah, we're both musicians as well too, but me personally, I love helping people way more than I make music. Like, I had somebody who's been hitting me up for a fucking feature for the last month and a half, and I finally got it to him the other day, and I'm like I just gotta stop accepting fucking feature requests unless I know I'm gonna dedicate the time, because I'm so preoccupied with trying to help all these other people and stuff, trying to help myself, man. It's fallen to the wayside, which is a positive thing, because I get more fulfillment out of it. I love making music, but I get way more fulfillment helping people, and so that's why me and KP come to you every single episode right here. That's why any kind of content that we put out online for you to absorb, for, some information for you and everything like that. Me and KP got our own, courses and everything like that coming out here soon as well too. Anything that we do is to help people, and we don't screw people over on the pricing. So if it has something to do with the pricing, you're going to get a fair price from us. You're going to get way more value, because we work on a value-based system. We provide more value to you than you provide us with money. And it works out because we want the money, you want the fucking value, right? And that's how it works. So next time you go think about doing a Spotify campaign, just realize, okay, this is a marketing platform. It's not a sales platform. So whenever I put in any money into this platform, I know to not expect getting hardly anything back out of it. I'm going to fix my mindset right here, right now, and know when I put this money in to social media ads, to any kind of situation that grows my social media presence or my streaming platform presence, that is not where I make my money. This is just me raising awareness to myself and my brand or my band or my music, whatever. Where I make my money is on my website. So let me reach out to as many people as possible with these marketing avenues, social media, streaming platforms, and bring people to my home of my website, to where I can actually engage with them one-on-one, build that relationship with them, and then have them want to wear my Smashing Pumpkins t-shirt and have people ask, who the fuck is that? You know what I'm saying? Absolutely.
Absolutely, man. Give that, man. You got to give that.
There we go. Anything to add, Mr. KP? I know I talked most of the episode here, but I'm really passionate about this topic, man, because, it's a long one. All right. Because I see so many people. Oh, you just cut it? I see so many people doing the wrong shit when it's so simple, man.
Yeah.
And you don't have to spend a lot of money doing it either. You just got to spend some time.
Yep.
If you want to be an entertainer, you just need to entertain people. That's as simple as it is. Yep. Just like me, I want to help people, so I fucking help people, right? Whatever you want to do, you got to go fucking do it. And
know your pocket. Know your pocket, guys. I want to I want to say this because I was just thinking about
go for it.
What we were saying with Spotify, like if you want anything, because Spotify does have they have the marquee campaign, right? But here's the kicker: you have to have how many was it, like 10,000 monthly listeners or something like that?
It's either 1,000 or 10,000, something like that. Yeah, it's over 5. Yeah,
it's over 5. Okay, so the thing is that if
that's the monthly listeners, and then you got to have a certain average of streams, and then the monetary minimum is like $500 or $250 or something like that you can spend on a campaign. Yeah. But anyway,
so the thing is that with that, with everything just Harkles just dropped on it, right? You got to think about, if you want to get to that point, then if you want to be able to, market your stuff on Spotify, you want to use the Spotify marquee campaign, then you got to make sure people are listening to your music on a monthly basis. You got to make sure that you get those people listening. You got at least 1,000 to the up 1,000 and up to get people to in order for you to get a campaign going, right? Mm-hmm. So you got you got to do the work, guys. Even with it, with the promotion of Spotify and everything, you still got to do the work. Mm-hmm. All right. And
yeah, you have to, because if you went and spent $500 on a Spotify marquee campaign, for one, you got to get your shit up, to that level first. You got to have all those. You got to have actual subscribed followers plus the monthly listeners.
Exactly.
I remember right. So once you get up to that and then you go and spend it, well, if you're not spending it wisely, you just threw $500 to the wind, and then you're going to be on social media saying, yo, Spotify marquee is garbage. No, the way you used it was garbage.
The way you use it is garbage.
Yeah, it's like what KP said. You got to, what did you say? You got to know your pocket? Is that what you just said?
Know your pocket.
Yeah, you got to know your pocket. And that means you got to know how to manage, you spend your money wisely.
Yep.
Wisely. So instead of doing conversion campaigns on social media, do awareness campaigns. It's a hell of a lot cheaper, and the overall goal you want is you want to get more people to see your shit, because like I always say, like I said a lot in this course I've been putting together, you need to get your at-bats up. Yeah, you need to get your at-bats up, right? Because I like to use a 10% rule. It's not always 10%, but I like to speak in generalities and use even numbers, right?
Right.
Out of however many people that you get in front of, you're only going to have about 10% of them that are actually going to take an action. And that's at a maximum, okay? That's at a maximum, bro. All right. So you get in front of 100,000 people, right? You get 100,000 views on your shit in a month, right? Well, you're only going to have about, between 1,000 and 10,000 that actually even fucking do anything, right? That hit like, that make a comment, that do any kind of action. Right? A lot of people are going to swipe away, right? 90% of people that see your shit are not going to interact with it in any way. Now, if you keep getting in front of them 7 to 10 times, which is the average, right? Then they're going to be more likely to take an action and fall into that 10%. But you got to keep increasing your at-bats with those same people as well as with new people. And so that's why you need to put out as much content as possible. Put it out regular. Try to plan your shit out to where it's like, okay, look, I made 3 songs this month. Instead of me putting out all 3 songs next month, I'm going to put 1 song out a month. Let me create some video element to it. Let me repurpose some of my older content and repost it and stuff like that. Let me make sure I can have 1 short form video post a day, right? For each month. And so then that way you're working a month or 2 in advance. Now you're planning better. And now whenever you put your money into a boost on a piece of content that did well, you're going to get more value out of it. When you put money into an ad or something like that, you're going to get you're going to get higher return out of that when it comes to followers and activity and everything like that.
Exactly.
So know your pocket. That's dope. I like that.
Well, yeah, man.
But all right, y'all, we're going to get the fuck up out of here, and we're going to play some of that funky music, Mohawk Man.
Yep,
that is powered by Riverside FM.
Absolutely.
Word.
Yeah, we forgot to do that at the beginning.
That's all good.
Anyway, yeah. If you guys like
River,
you guys need to go check out Riverside. If you use Zoom for anything, use Riverside instead. We got a link below in the fucking description.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
We're going to go ahead and get getting this music cracking for y'all. So,
yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to Mad K Studios, Apex Music System, that's my baby, Horrible Designs, Hip Hop Radar Underground, Tennessee Hot Sauce Company, and Riverside, of course. All the links in the description. Y'all have a good one.
Holla!
Yeah.